Hi everyone, my name is Kim. Today we're going to talk about, we're continuing to learn about each type when they're under stress. We learn about their loops and their grips. So today we're going to talk about ISTP'S. So we're going to find out when they're under stress, what loops and grips they go into. All right, so ISTPs, they are very chill and very calm personality types. They are action oriented and they love hands-on things. They like to do a lot of solitary activities, like to go for a hike or go fishing, or if they're working with their hands, they like to sculpt things or just any sort of thing with their hands. They love hands-on, and they're very creative when they're doing hands-on activities. All right, so their loop when they're under stress is the TI and FE loop. Now, what happens with that is they start just like the INTPs, who have that overthinking and then the analysis paralysis. ISTPs have the same thing. They have the analysis paralysis. They're overthinking. They have this internal debate, but they don't take action with it. They become more withdrawn. They become, emotionally disconnected from people. So they don't engage with people, part of the external world, with people. They're not engaging with creative endeavors, their hands-on abilities to craft something with their hands, something beautiful. Also, they just like the INTPs, who have this kind of, righteous fixation. So they, with their TI, INTPs, they have this kind of attitude that, they have all the answers, and everyone else is doing it wrong, but they're doing it right, and they have the accurate they have the accurate solution to life's problems. And so the ISTPs are the same way. They are very similar, ISTPs and INTPs. They share some similar functions. Okay, so yes, just like the ISTPs think they have all the answers. No one else has it. They're all wrong. They have the answers to life's problems. And just like the INTPs, that's not the case. And so it's the same thing with ISTPs. Okay, now we're going to go into their grip. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention a few things here. Okay, so we're still in the loop. Okay, so they ignore the things they love, like hands-on, creative things, craftsmanship. They're known for their craftsmanship. But when they're in this loop, they bypass SE and they bypass NI. Okay, so these two functions. So extroverted sensation. So they're ignoring it. Their SE is, you know, it motivates them. It's an extroverted function, so it motivates them to, to do a lot of things, to get into their creative endeavors, their hands-on projects that they enjoy doing, and they enjoy doing it by themselves. And also, and this is when they're healthy. They enjoy, going into SE and doing the sensory in a creative way. But they also lose sight of, they've got NI. So they're bypassing NI too. So, NI is a perceiving function. It's an introverted function, but it's a function that can help ISTPs to be more future oriented. Maybe they have some goals they want to meet down the road, or maybe they have some sort of an idea how they want to have their life, say when they retire or something. Their NI can help them to go on a path that is in alignment with what their goals or what they want to do down the road. So that's how NI helps ISTPs. And like I said, SE infuses them with this energy, for hands-on creativity, or to go on adventures, to do action-oriented things, that they love to do. They love music. They love going to musical festivals. They like making their own music, and those are all sensory. That's extroverted sensing activities. But when they're in this loop, they bypass it. So the TI and FE, they're not thinking about, the sensory activities that, really make them happy and really enjoy their life. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the FE grip. Okay, so when ISTPs are under a lot of stress, they're going to go into their FE grip, and it's not a pretty sight. When they're in FE, just like the INTPs, their grip is FE, and it's very similar to the ISTPs. The ISTPs, when they're in the grip, they have these emotional outbursts. They become overly emotional. They start to look like an unhealthy ENFJ. So that's how overly emotional ISTPs get. And also, they crave validation, from the people in their lives. They get insecure, so they crave, the validation. They also they become afraid of how others view them, what they think about them. And that is very similar to the INTPs, because they feel that way too when they're in the grip, the FE grip. So ISTPs, the same thing. They worry about their friendships. They worry about their relationships, they're very insecure that way. Now, okay, my time is almost finished here, but I'm going to quickly mention how they can get out of this grip, and also, you know, how they can get out of loops. Okay, so what they need to do is they need to revisit their extroverted sensing. Their extroverted sensing is what gives them that dynamic way about them. Yeah, they're a calm and cool, collected type, but they can be dynamic because SE is a very dynamic function, a very action-oriented function, a very present, grounding function. So when they're in the SE, they become more present. They have that, you know, that energy. They're dynamic in their own quiet way. And so when they get back to extroverted sensing, they need to go back to doing things they love, you know, like hands-on projects or crafts. You know, they're known as the artisans because they're good with their hands in a creative way, or they know how to take something apart, you know, and put it back together. They don't, you know, with no directions. They just know, hands-on. They just, you know, they just know how to put things back together. They also need, when they're in SE, they need to connect with people. You know, that's important. You know, otherwise we're going to be, you know, otherwise ISTPs are going to be isolated. So they need the human connection. Okay. Also, they, when they're at SE, yes, they need to get back to doing the hands-on activities, and a way to ground themselves. Go for a nature hike. Go into nature. That hiking in nature is very grounding, and so that will ground them. But they enjoy doing that. You know, it's an action-oriented activity, and so they enjoy that. You know, they enjoy going by themselves or with a couple of friends, and doing some hardcore hiking, getting into nature. And when they do this, they feel better. You know, they feel more grounded. Their type is balanced, and that's a good thing. Okay, I'm over my time here. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'm going to say goodbye.